tired of living life on a merry-go-round, and you can't find the fighter, but I see it in you, so we're gonna walk it out and move mountains. We're gonna walk it out and move mountains. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. I'll rise up, high like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the aches. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you. When the silence isn't quiet and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe, and I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet and move mountains, bring it to its feet and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, rise unafraid. I'll rise up, I'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, for you, for you. All we need is hope, and for that we have each other, and for that we have each other. We will rise, we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I'll do it 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, high like the waves. We'll rise up, in spite of the aches. We'll rise up, and we'll do it 1,000 times again. For you, for you, you, for you, for you, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise.
We'll rise up. We will rise. We'll rise up. Sang by Kimberly Shante, as only the way she can sing it with that beautiful, powerful, and angelic voice. We will rise. Welcome to the Holy Experience. I am Reverend Melissa McQueen Simmons, the spiritual director and virtual pastor of Holy Ground Spiritual Center. Welcome. You are where you need to be at this moment, at this time, in this space. So I invite you to relax, Open your ears, your hearts, your minds, your energy, your spirit, the essence of you as we share and continue this Holistic Faith Series. And it just so happened that today is the 9th. So we have our music, we have our holy word from Coach Cayme. And I just want to share a few announcements because this is Black History Month. And let's see what we have working with us. So on Sunday, I will offer a contemplative meditation at 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. This is the time for you to meditate, reflect, pray, rest, recharge, or just sit. I mean, just be in the moment. Um, in the climate that we are in, we can use more spaces to just be in the moment. So, I will hear. As you can see, we have our red, our green, and our gold. So do know that this contemplative meditation will be one of affirmation for those of us that are Black and African American and persons of African descent. And it will be empowering, it will be affirming, and it will be one that will call you to reflect on where you are and where you fit in this community. And next Sunday, we will have our Holy Experience Christian edition, where I will bring the Holy Word. I am trying to stick with the lectionary, and I think I am. So next Sunday is Transfiguration Sunday. So it's the transformation of Christ. Okay. So know that I will come and talk about, I'll give you a hint. So let's see, the transformation of Christ is when Christ was on the mountain and bam, bright, the ancestors, the people that was with him. So do know that I'm going to talk about how us Black folk can shine so brightly um, in our Africanness, our Blackness, our beauty of us. So, um, I forgot to share one thing. I just thought about it. It's a perfect surprise. So this month, I have decided, in light of Black History Month, I'm going to do some bedtime stories. I'm going to go into my daughter's library, and the plan is that I will go live on Instagram as well as where we are here, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm going to test it out and see how that work. So if I could do all four, I'll do all four. But I'm going to offer some a bedtime story. I have 3 dates in mind, so be on the lookout for the flyer. It will be starting next week, I believe, and it'll be at 8 p.m. It's going to be a childhood book, My People of African Descent, and then I offer meditation. So I'll call it like a bedtime story and a wind down. Okay. So that's what we have this month. And I'm going to bring up this flyer again. So just in case you have missed the Holistic Faith Series, you can see that we started out with Tiffany Mills Howell, our therapist and our leader for our mindset team, December 21st. I wanted a winter series, so we started on the first day of winter. And she came and talked about how we can reimagine our life and our world and our thoughts. And then Mary Perkins England came in January and shared about reinvention, you know. So we've reimagined what we want to be, or and then here we are reinventing. Sometimes you may have to do something different. You may have to change something. You may have to adapt. She talked about what that can look like, and the factors that can affect that. It was, yeah. So we have had some wonderful people sharing, and of course, Mary Perkins is our seasoned science leader. So tonight we have Coach Cayme, um, the coach of I call her the coach of the Carolinas as I watch her navigate this Charlotte area. And I'm going to bring Coach Cayme up. Let's see here. So Coach Cayme is here, and I'm going to read your bio. And I know sometimes we just don't like people reading our bio because sometimes we just can't believe we've done all these things. And some of us, you know, have to revisit some of these things they've done because they forgot that they've done them. But I I am intentional about reading bios because I want people to know who people are when they come and share in our space. We don't just invite anybody in holy ground. You have to be in tune and aligned with our values. And sure enough, Coach Cayme is, because Coach Cayme is on our mindset team as well. So here is Coach Cayme, affectionately, well, her first name is Cayme Andrea, affectionately known as Coach Cayme, the founder of the Catalyst Coach Academy and CEO of Catalyst Global LLC. Coach Cayme uses proven systems and methodologies to assist individuals in clarifying, creating, and sustaining successful outcomes, both personally and professionally. She believes in the connection of mind, body, and spirit. Hello, holy ground. And therefore takes an integrative approach to the work she does with clients. Coach Cayme is accredited through the International Coaching Federation and the Association of Integrated Psychology and is an affiliate of the Harvard Institute of Coaching. Okay, y'all, she got receipts. Okay, she's coming. She's an author and coach. And hold up. She's an author. How about that? How about that? Coach and certified NLP practitioner with over 15 years in the industry. Her education, training experience, and spiritual insight makes her a widely sought after speaker, coach, and consultant. She has been featured on headline news, has led workshops for various city and state government agencies, and has private clients around the world. From the Midwest, do you say pop? Huh?
Sorta. I have been acclimated.
From the Midwest, she claims the South. Okay, she claims the South as her adult home. She lived in North Carolina, the Queen City, with her family, and she enjoyed having fun with her family, her wife, and her daughter, and a dog. I didn't know you had a dog.
A big one.
Oh, 80-pound dog to be exact. Okay, you all. So, hey, Coach Cayme, she is training leaders in this world, doing master classes, speaking. She have one-on-ones. She is here doing all the things to disrupt our comfort zones, dissolve excuses, and empower people to create their own change in their lives. How about that? So we have Kay Shantae who's going to come back and sing a song titled Launch. And then Coach Cayme will come and continue our Holistic Faith Series Mindset Edition as she share a holy word about the relaunch. Okay.
Awesome.
So everyone take this moment to get centered. Wherever you are, rest. Let the weight of your feet fall in space that you're in, the weight of your hips if you're sitting. Let your back relax and listen to the words and open up your mind as Coach Cayme began to share after Kay Shante. Launch.
Launch into your vision. just believe. Oh, launch into your visions. Launch into your dreams. Launch into your destiny. Launch and just believe. I believe in you. I know you believe in me. So let's come together so we can manifest and launch. Manifest and launch. Manifest and launch. Launch our visions, launch our dreams, launch our destiny. Step out into the deep, step out into the deep and launch into your vision. Launch into your dreams, launch into your destiny. Launch, all you gotta do is believe. Manifest and launch, manifest and launch. Let's create together so we can manifest and launch everything that we want, everything we envision, everything. All you gotta do is step out into the deep and launch. Yeah, step out into the deep and launch. Yeah.
Amazing, Kimberly. She always blows me away. And I don't know who does the song selection, but how divinely perfect. Wow. Thank you, Reverend Melissa, Pastor Melissa, spiritual director, so many things that you are, for the honor, really, for tonight. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you for the opportunity. Um, when she reached out to me, and this was early in 2022, I was so excited because if you could tell from my bio, right, this type of stuff that we're talking about, mindset, reimagining, reinventing, relaunching yourself, is right in my wheelhouse. However, I did not know that a sequence of events would make tonight so very special and so very poignant. So thank you, um, Reverend Melissa, again, and thank you for showing up. It's my goal tonight to share some things with you, whether you are watching it live, whether you are watching a replay. I want to be able to really share some things with you from my training, to share some things with you from my experience, but ultimately, I want to be able to share from my heart about my own journey, some things that I believe, I'm hoping, I'm praying will be helpful for you in helping you sustain yourself as you do what Kimberly so beautifully sang, and launch. And not just launch, but aren't we talking about relaunching tonight? Right? So, in addition to me helping you do that, honestly, I'm going to be reminding myself of some things. Is that okay? If you are watching live and that's okay with you, just drop some comments in the chat to let me know that you are absolutely okay with that. So we're talking about the mindset edition, right? And I thought, well, let's get really clear on a couple of things. Let's get clear on mindset and what that even is, right? How do we define that? Mindset, when you break it down, just the basic definition, all it is just an established set of beliefs. That's it. Okay, but we can go a little deeper, right? Because when you look at, well, what are beliefs? Well, beliefs, research tells us, are really just thoughts that we think over and over and over again. So the beliefs are thoughts that we choose to adopt and bring into our personal space and give power to. That's all it is. So if thoughts can change, and we know that they can, right? We have the power to change our thoughts, then so can beliefs, right? It reminds me of that old like math formula that said if A equals B and B equals C, then A equals C, right? So if we can change our beliefs and our beliefs make up our mindset, then it means we can change our mindset. All right. I want you to put a pin in that right there, right? And we're going to come back to that, I promise. So I started thinking about the definition of relaunch. And again, just kind of the basic definition is to make something exist or to make something happen again. To make something happen again. It is not the one time thing, it's not the first time thing. When you're talking about relaunch, you already launched and you're doing it again, right? All right, so I sat with that for a minute and I thought, typically that word is used in the professional world, like when a product is going to be relaunched, right? Or when something's going to be improved or changed, or you hear about it. Think about this, right? You hear about brands relaunching. You hear about, excuse me, websites relaunching, about programs relaunching, etc. Right? Is that true? Right? You hear that a lot. It's pretty common. But come on now. What did we just say? The companies, the brands, the programs, they relaunch because they are looking to improve or change or reposition. Come on now. So, what does that have to do with you? How does that, when you think about that, how does that relate to you? So many of us are good with the reimagining, right? As Tiffany talked to us about our thoughts and how to reimagine ourselves. And then a lot of us are really okay with reinventing, right? We are okay with defining ourselves differently, as Mary talked about. We're okay with putting meat on this version of ourselves that we've taken the time to reimagine and we're now reinventing. And then we even get excited when we start looking at relaunching. But if you really pay attention, the excitement typically comes from the fact that we are focused on the outcome of the relaunch. A lot of people don't get to the outcome because of the process. I want to let that sit and simmer for a little bit. A lot of individuals get excited about the relaunch, but don't get to the outcome that they're excited about with the relaunch because of the process of the relaunching. So, can we pull back the curtain a little bit to talk about what that process looks like? A relaunch, as we stated, is this repositioning. Repositioning, that's an action word, right? So there is like this shifting, there's a shaking, there's a moving that happens, right? When we that's the process of relaunching, the shifting, the shaking, this moving. There's a quote: to dispose a soul to action, one must upset its equilibrium. The quote says, again, I'm going to say it: to dispose a soul to action, We're talking about relaunching. Relaunching is the action piece of this, right? One must upset its equilibrium. When was the last time your equilibrium was off? Mm. How did you feel when your equilibrium was off? Anybody ever had vertigo? Right? Ever had this weird sensation like the very ground that you know is solid, that you believe can hold you, like it's shifting and you kind of like lose your footing, right? So get excited about the sexiness of the outcome of the relaunch and understand that if you're feeling off balance, if you feel like you have lost your footing, like this is new territory that you don't know how to navigate, it's because that's exactly how it's supposed to feel in the moment. When I'm training coaches or I'm working with new coaches, I remind them of two things. The first is that it's not about the outcome. You want to be able to detach yourself from the outcome of the coaching session, from the outcome of the coaching program, from whatever the outcome is that you're looking for. The second thing that I help them understand is that the gift of being present in the moment is one of the best tools they have. And I want to offer that same thing to you. Being present in your moment of relaunch, in your season of relaunch, is one of the best tools you have. Once you allow yourself to be detached from the outcome and you can just sit in the present moment that you are experiencing, you so many things illuminate. You realize that you are capable of so much. But here's the key. In order to be present, you must trust. And there are three things that I want to share with you that you must trust, that you must yield to. Pastor Melissa said before she brought me up when we were listening to the song Launch and she was preparing us, she said, settle into your seat, right? I love how she described, go ahead and just let your feet, right, just kind of drop to the ground. Let your shoulders come back, right? Go ahead and drop your shoulders and just kind of relax in the back of your chair. That's the beginning posture of just yielding to the moment, yielding to the space. So I want to share with you the three things that you must be able to do to just yield, to be present. The first thing is to trust the process. The second thing is to trust yourself. And the third thing is to trust that God has your back. The work that I do, again, as a success coach, as a mindset coach, is helping people break what I call their internal glass ceiling so they can reach new levels of success, however you define success. And often what comes up for people is that on some level, they don't see themselves as whole. They don't see themselves as capable. They don't see themselves as creative, and they don't see themselves as resourceful. Whole, capable, creative, resourceful, those four things. Whole, capable, creative, and resourceful. And when you don't see yourself as whole, capable, creative, and resourceful, how can you trust yourself? Right? And trusting yourself, that's one of the three things that I said that you must do in order to just yield and be present in this moment. The process, we talk about trusting the process. The process can be painful. The process can be uncomfortable. It can be frustrating. It can be confusing. And when the process feels that way, how hard is it to trust? Realistically, that's when we start kind of questioning, do I want to go through with this? Am I in the right place? Is this the right space? Is this happening the way it's supposed to be happening, right? So earlier, I mentioned a sequence of events. My life today looks very different from how it looked when Rev first asked me to do this, to share tonight. I was really excited then, and I'm still excited now. However, on January 5th, my sister passed away. And my world looked different. My equilibrium was thrown completely off. And as I sat with what I'm sharing with you tonight, I thought, if I am able to believe that God has my back, if I'm able to believe that this process looks exactly how it's supposed to look, and if I can choose to trust that even though I may not feel whole, that even in this crazy, painful, uncomfortable time, that I'm whole, capable, creative, and resourceful. Is it possible that the emotional place that I'm in brings an opportunity for me to be changed, for me to be improved, for me to be repositioned, for me to relaunch? I believe it does. I choose to believe that it does. Remember, I talked about in the beginning how our beliefs are simply thoughts that we have given power to over and over again. And our mindset comes from these established beliefs. So I am choosing, and you too have the power of choice, right? To be able to say that the current thought that I have, the current belief set that I have, is not serving me in this moment to be able to move through this process of relaunching the way that it needs to. So guess what? God has given me the power to be able to switch that. Imagine what would happen in your life, or dare I say, reimagine, right? What would happen in your life if you went through this process, as Tiffany, Mary, and I have suggested, where you took the time to reimagine things anew? You took the time to reinvent, to redefine things. And then you took the time to just get present in the process, to yield to the process, to detach yourself from the outcome. Imagine what would be on the other side. I believe in these visual representations, right, of what life could look like. And I want to offer this to you as Reverend Melissa gets the video ready. I want to share with you, it's about 1 minute and 30 seconds of this video that I believe is this visual representation of what it looks like to launch and then relaunch, and then relaunch, and then launch again, and then launch again, right? I want to share this with you. If you can bring that video up, and then after, I'll come back up and answer any questions that you have. So, isn't it crazy how it looked like his goal was to start at the bottom of the stairs and make his way to the top, right? That looked like that was the goal. But in that process, what happened? He so beautifully yielded when he fell. So oftentimes we're in that process and we think, oh, this is a linear path, right? The path to relaunch, it's just from A to B to C to D. And so we start making our way from A to B to C to D, and then we start falling. A lot of us, we don't fall so eloquently is what I want to say, right? It's not this beautiful kind of like fall back. It's this like fighting, like what? No, no, that's not supposed to happen. This isn't it, right? We have skewed what the fall back is, right? We have skewed that in our mind as to what that really means. When you see that in that video, that's the relaunch. When you go down and you come back up, you're coming back up different. So he came back up and he continued to go up the stairs, and then he fell back down and he bounced back up. That is a representation of how it is when we live out this process of relaunching. And the goal in life, it is not to just do it once and then, oh, well, yeah, let me make some tweaks and do it again. No, come on. When we're realistic, the thing is, we're doing it again and we're doing it again and we're doing it again and we're doing it again, because relaunching is the way that we evolve, period. It is the way that we become better. It is the way that we figure out how to show up as ourselves more fully, more the way that we are meant to be. And it is only through the process that we're able to do that. Reverend Mel, I want you to come back on, and I'm just curious to see if there are any questions. If you have any questions, or which you probably do, I'm sure.
I always have questions.
Yes.
I mean, it was everything for me. Well, all of you all just phenomenal in your wisdom and your grace, and how you just share and put it where people can just understand it. And there's nothing like someone who's able to make it practical with their own lived experience. I think I remember telling you this week about how I missed the testimony service when people could just share things. So just listening to you share your story was just very touching. But I mean, I took some notes. I don't know about you all. I hope you all took some notes. And if you didn't, um, I'll have it replay later this week. But so I wrote being present in the relaunch. Like, you know, that that's real talk, because you mentioned how some of us, we're so excited about the thing, the thing that's going to happen, or the thing that we see, and sometimes we could be so happy with the thing that we want to obtain, that we don't take the time to really think about how we're going to do this thing. And as I was looking at that video, and that person just kept falling and coming up, I was sitting here like, oh my gosh, all this going back and forth, it takes some endurance, because,
That is
it
it.
takes some heart,
Yeah.
because,
Yeah.
once you fail the first time, you have to figure out, now, what am I going to do different to do this again? And you mentioned it, doing it again over and over and over. Oh my gosh, how many times must you do this thing? And in order to obtain this prize, or this goal that you want. So I wrote down endurance, and I wrote down heart, because some of us are sensitive. I'm sensitive, and I am not a good loser, which is why I don't gamble or anything like that. So, just thinking that you're like so close, but you haven't really taken the time to focus on just being in the moment, was like, that was really powerful. And you gave us 3 steps, like a good old Baptist preacher would do. I don't know. Baptist preachers, I don't know what your denomination you come from, but I'm just saying, it usually tell on you.
Right.
Uh, oh,
Typically.
from Baptist, see? a good old Baptist. So you had three. She had 3 points. Here we go. They say in the church, she had 3 points. 3 points. Okay. The first point was trust the process. Hey, we don't know what it's gonna be. You don't know what it's gonna be either. But just being present in that moment and hoping that things are gonna work out. So trust that and trust yourself. As I tell um as I tell our holy grounders and the people that I talk with about, just life, know that you have everything you need already.
Yes.
And if you don't see it within you, you have community, you have resources. So trust yourself that you're going to do what you need to do. And then trust that God have your back, okay? Trust that the ancestors got
Yes.
you. Trust that
Yes.
your guardian
Yes.
angels
Yes.
are
Yes.
guarding you. Trust that your guides, the
Yes.
guides that
Yes.
help you navigate life the way that only you can, has your back, or Mother Earth and
Yes.
nature, those of my siblings that uh are so in tune with Mother Earth. Like she said, we gotta trust that whoever we believe in that's bigger than us has our back, okay? And that's a whole word right there. That's a whole word. So with that being said, I did write down some other questions. Okay.
Can I
And as
say
I'm
something?
huh?
Can I say
Oh
something?
yeah. Oh yeah.
You mentioned the falling, right? And how
Mhm.
sometimes we can get frustrated because it's like, again, like we keep failing and keep failing.
Yes.
So, what I
Yes.
want to offer is that perspective shift, right? That shift in
Okay.
perspective that is part of the process. It's not a fail. It's just a learning opportunity to know how you can tweak to bounce back.
Ah, got it. Got it. Got it. See, hey, and when you yield in that moment, you're able to see some other things. But I hear you. Thank you. Thank you for that. Because in our culture, I just keep it real. Some of us are type A, some of us are
Yep.
perfectionists.
Yep.
And if we don't get that thing that we were trying to get, it's like we have failed
Yes.
life in its entirety. And I'll be transparent about just having that mindset right there. As I'm in therapy, this is something that my therapist worked with me on, just the reality that, things gonna happen and you can't control everything. Even though you do a pretty good job controlling most things, there gonna be something that you can't really, put your hands on. So yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And just changing your mindset and not seeing it as a failure, but also an opportunity to, as you mentioned, to shift, or an opportunity, as my therapist would say, to alter my thoughts.
There you go. I love
Okay.
it. I love it. I love it.
So when you think about the relaunch, okay, what image come to mind? Is there an image that comes to mind?
That's good. Um, I can't get the image of the video that you just played out of my head, but
Ah, okay.
so like that's what comes to mind because it encompasses this idea that we have an end destination,
Mm,
right? That there's a finite starting point and there's a finite destination. And a lot of times that's what we go into something believing.
hmm
When the reality is the larger picture is it really isn't, it doesn't look like that. And it really isn't even about that thing, you
Yeah,
know? Yeah.
got it. Sometimes it feels like it's about the lessons that you learn trying to do the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Or experiencing the thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, because sometimes when you don't get that thing, you awaken other things in you that you didn't even know that you had. You're like, oh, I
You
didn't even know
you
I could
you
do
are
that.
human. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah.
So as we think about the relaunch again, like, are there any books, any podcasts, anything that comes to mind uh that you would want to share for inspiration?
So if we're talking about there are a couple of things that I want to offer, right? Um, I'm looking this up to make sure that I give you the right name. There is a book
Okay.
that I would suggest that's called U-Turn. So if you're talking about relaunching personally, I would offer U-Turn as
U-turn.
U. It's just the letter U. Well,
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's a play on words, so it's actually YOU, but it's like a U-turn that you would do.
Okay. Let's see
U-turn.
here. You know who that author is?
Her name is Ashley Stahl.
Got it. I see.
And yep, Ashley Stahl, U-turn. And if we're talking about um if you're not talking about something personally, but you're talking about, relaunching just like in life general, right? Kind of thing. Um,
Mm-hmm.
then I would offer any good book that talks about resiliency.
Ah, see, that's why I said it takes some endurance. I just kept
That's it.
watching that person fall
Right.
and back up. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was just exhausted watching it.
Yes.
I was over it. I said, okay, it's done.
Mhm,
What
mhm.
we gonna do next?
Right, right. And that's what happens in real life though. You get in the thick of the relaunch and you're like, this is too much. This is
Yeah, it's too much. Yeah, I'm typing in this book.
yes.
It has a longer title than I thought.
Oh.
That's cool though. I love it. I mean, I could see already from the title how it can be impactful.
Mhm, mhm.
I got everything but this author. Let's see here. Ashley. Wow. Okay. So that video, yeah, I'm gonna probably be thinking about that video
Yeah.
for a minute. I believe I saw that video on Facebook before.
Uh-huh.
And I
Facebook. Yeah.
just passed right on by. I saw it. I said, "Oh God, he must be bored to just be doing this over and over." I said, "Okay, move on."
Right.
Is this the book right here?
That's it. Yep. Yep.
Got it, got it. So that's a book of inspiration. And I am a woman of faith and many beliefs.
Yes.
So when we think about the relaunch,
Mhm.
does faith have its place in the relaunch?
So if we go back to my three Baptist points.
Ah, see? Yes,
It
yes, yes.
definitely does, right? It definitely
Mhm.
does. I was really specific in saying trust God has your back, but I appreciate you expanding on that because that is the spiritual component. That's the faith component. Whatever it is that you believe in, and you have to believe in something outside yourself.
Mhm.
And so whatever it is that looks like for you, you got to trust that being, that light, that energy, it's working on your behalf.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that this was rich.
Thank
This
you.
was rich. And I'm gonna try to put all of you all together so people can just hear you all's message. I mean, like it's a whole word. And I hope that this has touched you all as much as it has touched me. And I get the honor and pleasure to come right after these wise women. And I don't know if you noticed, but I have called my part the recap.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So we'll see what that looks like. I'm still thinking about how I want it to look, and I'm imagining if I can get the three of them back together with me. I think we could do it like talk show style. I think
Ooh,
that would be fire.
yeah.
So that's what I've been thinking about
Okay.
um, when I think of the recap. So, Coach Cayme, this has been everything.
Thank you.
I thank you for your grace. I thank you for your your relaunch in this moment,
Yep.
in this season.
Yep.
I mean, it's just a testament of who you are
Mm,
and why you do what you do.
thank you.
So, thank you for sharing. And thank you all for joining us. I will bring back the announcements and I might play that song Launch by
Woo!
Shantae again. That really was pretty cool, right? So I might try
Yes.
to bring that back in.
Like
Um,
how can we get that?
I have no I need to find out who sing that song. She kind of surprised me with that one. Usually I do selections and but this time I just trusted her to do her thing.
Yeah.
And that's why she do what she do. But I was like, oh Lord, she done found a song called Relaunch. Okay. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm about to I'm gonna pull up the video in a different way so we can hear her sing again.
Awesome.
And I say thank you to all of you all who follow us at Holy Ground, who share your gifts, your talents, and your treasures with us. Know that we are putting them in places that that we can continue to bring in people to share. We can show up in places that other people can't show up, and know that we have your best interest at heart with Holy Ground. And if you are looking for a faith community where you can bring all of who you are to this space, I invite you to Holy Ground. Become a Holy Grounder today. And you'll see some information on how you can join. So I'm going to bring up how you can donate and look for Kay Shantae so she can come back and I can play that video of launch. All right. Thank you, Coach
Thank
Cayme.
you.
It's
Bye-bye.
been awesome.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh.
Launch into your visions. Launch into your dreams. Launch into your destiny. Launch and just believe. Oh, and just believe. Oh, launch into your visions. Launch into your dreams. Launch into your destiny. Launch and just believe. I believe in you. I know you believe in me. So let's come together so we can manifest and launch. Manifest and launch. Manifest and launch. Launch our visions, launch our dreams, launch our destiny. Step out into the deep, step out into the deep and launch into your vision. Launch into your dreams. Launch into your destiny. Launch, all you gotta do is believe. Manifest and launch. Manifest and launch. Let's create together so we can manifest and launch everything that we want, everything we envision, everything. All you gotta do is step out into the deep